Well, what you're already seeing is every chief officer is building a budget that they can deliver against. The cost, frankly, is people. And as you're seeing, as these assessments are being made, different in different forces, every force is different. What you are seeing is a building picture of redundancies of our support colleagues, implementation of A19, for example, and conversations around a power to make officers redundant in the to fix the immediate challenge. So we're seeing less officers. So the budget will come in regardless of the national structures being reorganised. What you didn't talk about was it's not just us. We're looking at reform across the public sector. So there's a huge government agenda of which we are but part. I think the cost to some extent is time. And you've already seen, for example, the National Crime Agency, we still await the publication. It is this week, which is positive. There is no plan for legislation till the next session of Parliament. So some of these things will take time to implement. What we must continue to do is to make sure government makes decisions from a fully informed standpoint and the voice of the profession has been heard so they can make their decisions in a proper and fully informed way. I think you're right to point out there is currently, without question, substantial lack of clarity around how the national policing infrastructure is going to work. We've got ACPO, one bit, if you like, currently a company limited by guarantee, which is not satisfactory. We've got the MPIA, which government's decided to get rid of, but doing huge amounts of very necessary, essential national work, which should be done once, not 44 times. And in the middle of this somewhere is the National Crime Agency. Again, we're slightly ahead of the curve. Hopefully on Wednesday we'll have more clarity on what the National Crime Agency is going to deliver. I'm not persuaded by the arguments in the press it's an FBI. I don't think it is an FBI. What it is around bringing together a national capacity to deal with the most dangerous offenders and to bring them to justice. I see it as a far more operational structure than perhaps the precursor organisations. But again, this is another building programme. We have to work out what stays with it, what goes into the NCA and what doesn't. What we have persuaded government on is they must not use it as a catch-all for everything that hadn't been thought about when the MPIA was being dismantled. It must be focused on crime, no more and no less.